Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. A senior US military commander has reportedly warned that American forces may not have sufficient resources to simultaneously defend Israel against Iranian missile attacks and protect US interests across the Middle East. According to reports, General Alexis Grinkovich told Pentagon officials that US naval assets are under increasing strain and cautioned that commanders could face difficult choices if the conflict with Iran continues to escalate. The United States has advised its citizens across the Middle East to consider leaving the region amid fears of further escalation. US embassies in several Middle Eastern countries issued security alerts, urging Americans to be prepared to depart if the situation deteriorates. Meanwhile, Iran warned that any country supporting US military operations could become part of the conflict as regional tensions continue to rise.
US President Donald Trump says that the United States and Israel have agreed to suspend planned military strikes against Iran, contingent on a rapid agreement to end months of tensions. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said US forces remain locked and loaded, but that he agreed to halt the planned attack following requests from Iran and other Middle Eastern countries, provided negotiations make swift progress. Trump said the proposed deal would require the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and address Iran's nuclear program, adding that Israel supports the temporary pause while diplomatic efforts continue. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman urges US President Donald Trump to avoid launching major military strikes on Iran and instead pursue de-escalation during a phone call on Saturday, according to Axios. The report said Saudi Arabia also sought greater clarity on Washington's military plans, while regional countries including Qatar, the UAE, Turkey, and Pakistan continued diplomatic efforts to reduce tensions. Qatari mediators reportedly held talks with Iranian and US officials aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz, with sources saying negotiations made progress despite uncertainty over a final agreement.
Iran has issued a fresh warning to countries in the region, cautioning against aligning with the United States. A senior Iranian military commander claimed any country serving as a defensive shield for Washington could face the consequences of war. Commander of Iran's Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, Major General Ali Abdollahi, said the United States is seeking to further ignite conflict across the Middle East. In a message addressed to neighboring countries, Abdollahi said Washington is pursuing with increasing speed the path of widespread warmongering in a regional war.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio says recent US military strikes have made Iran more willing to negotiate over its nuclear program and security in the Strait of Hormuz. In an interview with Fox News, Rubio claimed the attacks severely weakened Iran's naval, air force, missile defense, and broader military capabilities, though he acknowledged Tehran still retains missile and drone strike capabilities. Rubio said the military campaign shifted the balance in Washington's favor and encouraged Iran to engage in negotiations. Iran has not officially confirmed the US account of the talks or any reported conditions for a potential agreement. At least 8 Palestinians were killed in Israeli strikes across the Gaza Strip on Sunday, according to Gaza's civil defense, despite a new US-backed roadmap aimed at advancing a ceasefire and Hamas disarmament. The attacks hit Deir el-Balah, Khan Yunis, and Gaza City, as diplomatic efforts continued to revive last year's ceasefire agreement. Hamas said it would consider disarmament only after Israel halts military operations and withdraws its forces, while Israel insists any withdrawal depends on what it calls Hamas's genuine disarmament. Negotiations remain ongoing, but fresh violence has cast doubt over prospects for implementing the proposed peace plan. 3 people were killed and at least 21 injured after a homemade bomb exploded outside an upscale Italian restaurant in central Moscow on Saturday evening, Russian authorities said. Officials said the blast occurred after a woman carrying the device was stopped by a security guard outside the Balzi Rossi restaurant. The woman, the guard, and a customer were killed in the explosion. Authorities have launched an investigation and are examining whether the bomb was detonated remotely. No group has claimed responsibility, and Russian officials have not identified any suspects. Thousands of migrants who crossed into Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta have begun returning to Morocco, citing hunger, exhaustion, and deteriorating conditions. More than 50,000 people entered Ceuta this week, but many found no clear route to mainland Spain. Migrants described shortages of food and water, while aid workers said reception centers had reached capacity. Although many are heading home, some remain determined to stay despite the hardships, saying they would rather endure the conditions than return.
Celebrated Nepali climber Nirmal Purja has died in an avalanche during an expedition in Pakistan. His expedition organising company confirmed in an Instagram post that Nim's Dai tragically lost his life following the avalanche on Broad Peak. It added that the other members of the expedition also did not survive. Purja and 9 others had been missing since Thursday after being struck by an avalanche on the 8,051-metre Broad Peak, a technically difficult climb in Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.